Rise, pray, grind, and leverage. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Hope everybody's safe out there, doing the right thing, spending some time with your loved ones, and not being out here in all this mess. So we're going to get right into this. This video was sponsored by CNC Property Management, taking care of all your property management needs. Get at them, go to their page, check them out. They also do one-time tenant placement programs. So if you just want to get, some tenants in there, they'll take care of that. Also, they'll take care of the lead safe paint testing. So for all you landlords out there that's coming, Pennsylvania changed the law. So don't get caught out there without having your lead safe paint certificate. So hit them up for that lead paint safe testing, because you can't get no evictions done without it. So boom, let's get right into it. Open up your toolboxes, open up your jewelry boxes. We're going to get into these jewels and tools, lessons and blessings. So today we're going to talk about hard money lending. Right. So, if you don't understand what that means or understand what the hard money program does, don't just follow somebody else because they're telling you that that's the move that they make. That's the plays that they make. You don't want to get involved and get in bed with a hard money lender and you're unfamiliar with the product, you're unfamiliar with how it works, and you're unfamiliar about the return time on that. So trust me, it's not for all people, right? It's not for all people. They're going to want their money, hell, sleet, rain, and snow. Believe that. All right. So just because you see somebody else doing it, that they may have the experience to get in, get the property rehab, get the property flipped, or get the property hold, or get the property refinanced. They might have the experience to do that. If you're a newbie and you're not sure how that process works, and you're not sure, if you can get it done, and you don't have the experience to get it done, don't jump into this. Trust me when I tell you. You will find and learn a valuable lesson. You will take a hard lesson. Financially, credit-wise, reputation-wise, you can ruin your real estate career or your investment career messing around with hard money and don't run that money back. All right. It's almost like the corners out here. Like, they want their money. Believe me. They play fair in the beginning and talk nicey nice. But when it comes time to them times, the time frame's running out 12 to 15 months and you ain't got that money, they get real ugly and they got attorneys ready to rock. Trust me when I tell you that. All right. So we're going to get into my hard money experience. So some time ago, I was getting into the game. I was doing some flips. I was doing some rehabs. And I wanted to try out the hard money process by using other people's money instead of my own, which is one of the techniques. It's not always the best technique, but it is one of the techniques. So I had everything lined up. Credit score was at 830. I had over 40% inside of my bank account for over 12 months. I saw a property. I had a real estate agent lined up. I wasn't a licensed realtor at that time, so I had a real estate agent lined up. I had a broker lined up. So I had these two individuals on my team. Saw a property that I was interested in. I had some big plans for this property for my future. I'll get into that a little bit later. So I went to the hard money guy. So I put my application together. It was approximately maybe about like 20 pages. Again, like I said, I had a credit score 830, over 40% in the bank, if not more. I had my HUDs in order. I had my photos in order. I had my projects in order. And then I filled out the application. Sent it in to the hard money gentleman that I was introduced from my broker. Let's say I put it in like on a Monday or Tuesday. Thursday rolled around. And now I'm hyped up. I'm thinking that I got everything lined up. This is straight. The money that I'm asking for, I was already sitting on. So I figured it was a win-win for me. Hard money rejected it. His answer to me was, he didn't believe that I had, the adequate enough experience to take on a project as large that I was asking, them to back up for me to take on. So I was crushed. So, I had my little pity party for about 45 minutes to an hour. Then I went back to the lab and I sat down. I went through the application. I went through everything that I sent him. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm not accepting no. Period. I'm not accepting no from this guy. He doesn't know me from a can of paint. The money that I'm asking him for, I already got. I just didn't want to use my own money. So I went back to the lab, opened up the application process. I broke down everything that I was going to do, writing it down, literally. Like I broke down from the time that the project was going to start. I broke down from the time that I was going to get the draws, the time that I was going to get the inspections coming out, the times that I was going to visit the property. I broke down from the time, when we was going to do the roof, the mechanicals, the flooring, the electrical, the windows. I broke everything down in a time frame and time steps. I even broke down my Home Depot report, my materials that I needed, the labor that was going to cost, how much time I was going to put in. I took a 20-page application and I flipped it into a 50-page application. I broke down every segment of what I was going to do, how much money I was going to spend, down to the penny. To the penny. I went back to his office Friday morning, 9 a.m. sharp. I walked in, said, Kurt, he said, Mr. Cannon, you know, we really don't turn over loan applications unless you can really prove something that was different. I said, listen, out of all due respect, all I'm doing is asking you to reread and my resubmission of my application and let me know. If it's still a no, then it's a no. I'll go a different way. However, I want to make sure that I put my best foot forward to apply for this. I gave him the application again. Like I said, I went from 20 pages to 50 pages. Dropped it to him on a Friday. Came home. I'm thinking to myself, you know what? I did that for me, for my ego. You know what I mean? Not so much to now I wanted the money, because I was already working on plan B to get this project working and going. So I did that for me. Left it on Friday. I get a call the following Tuesday or Wednesday morning from my broker, Tom Ferris. And if you out there, shout out to my man Tom, hell of a broker. So I get the call from Tom. He says, Calvin, I don't know how you did this, but Kurt overturned the loan. You'll have the money in your account by Friday. Whew. That was the best news that I ever heard in my real estate career, my investment career. I couldn't believe it. Tom, you know, talked to me. He's like, he's never, ever turned anything around. So this person that I was getting hard money from, he owned the bank. Him and his family owned the bank. I went directly to the owner of the bank. I didn't play with the loan officers. Didn't play with none of that. I went directly to the person who owns the bank and got the loan overturned, got my project started. I was on pins and needles the whole time. Believe it or not. You know, I had to keep my credit score right, had to keep things straight for a whole entire year. I did the rehab of the property. I was going to flip it, but then I decided to keep it for a special occasion that happened in my life. So I kept the property. I refinanced out of the property. Went to settlement for the refi. Get there, I secured everybody, you know, celebrating. So I looked him dead in his eyes and I told him I was determined and I was going to get this done. And he looked at me and said, I know, you know. So then he said to me, listen, if you want any more projects, this was the biggest project that the bank ever did and the biggest project that I ever did in my career. And he offered to give me more money. But what he didn't recognize that I recognize, and it's going to be in my next video coming up, is that when I sat at that table for that HUD, everybody got a check but me. So at that point, I said, nah, I need to figure out how to get my name all over this HUD. So at that point, I went back to the lab, got my real estate license, got different certificates, got, you know, family members of, becoming appraisals, got family members to become, auditors. So that way, next time I went to the table, I was going to be all over that HUD. I was impressed at how I got through the challenges of the hard money, but I was really disappointed when I got to that table and recognized that nobody's name was on that HUD, getting checks. My name wasn't on that HUD to get checks. So I went back to the lab and I made sure from that day forward, not only did I have a good hard money program in my back pocket, now I went back to the lab to make sure that my name is all over that HUD. So not only will I was the realtor on deals, I was the seller, the buyer, I was a dual agent on deals, the GC on deals. I made sure that I got to that HUD one, but we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But pay attention, stay tuned in. Shout out to people that's dropping me DMs. Let me know that, you know, some of these things are helping them. Hit the like button if they are helping you. If you have any questions or concerns, you know, shout me out. You know what I mean? Let me know what you want to know. Let me know what experiences that you would like me to walk you through from my experience. I'm not trying to tell people what to do or how to do it. I'm telling people what I went through, right? So transparency, stay tuned in, stay locked in. Truth is proof.